there. Let's watch some MK.
Right. We got France, we got the United States, we got what we can assume are their best lineups, the best lineups they can put out for this semifinal match. The winner of this set of 3 moves on to face Japan in the grand finals. We are familiar with that matchup, it appears, but we got race 1 on Cloud Top Cruise here. Was this a United States or a France pick? Do you remember, Rookie?
Probably France because they were hosting. I didn't actually see the selection. I was preoccupied worrying about a lot of other stuff right now.
Right. So France getting their track pick, hopefully able to make something work out here in the top. Looks like, quite a couple United States members here. We got the point of view of Power here from Team France, so we're going to have an idea where he is a lot of the time. But it looks like the United States making up a lot of this middle pack. Isaiah is up there in 3rd, Swift right ahead of them. We can assume that's France in 1st. If so, that's a top 3 to start this one off.
Yeah, and Swift's also holding on. Well, at least he was holding on to Horn. We see now that's Dayam, so pretty good start for France coming out. Our friend of the day is going to be Roberto, repping DK, so we're always going to know where Roberto is. Everybody else will be a little bit more questionable, but we'll see.
Obscure,
for now, it's a top 3.
Yeah, and I mean, Dayam is starting to break away in first NATO with a chance here to connect some greens, able to snipe Power there. Power taking the loose end of that bump, too.
Blue coming in as well.
United States might have an answer here, lap 3.
Send-in Striker coming up as well, and the blue just landed. We'll have to see.
That is tough for Power.
Coming in for Power. Power's looking a little rattled.
It's kind of falling apart here, and I mean, we can only guess that that's a mixed bag up there in top spots. USA is 9-10, bottom 2 for France. No idea on the shock situation. Doesn't seem like there's one out here.
Yeah, I wouldn't think there is, but if there is, it'll be the last glider. Pretty obvious, but...
Yeah, no Bolt is going to come out here. Power trying to sneak up from the very back. He's not looking to get a top spot here, but maybe able to get some positional points. A Bolt does come out the very end, not seeming to affect much.
I think that was actually USA's passing people on the line. We'll see how the front worked out, but that's a 2-3-4.
They salvaged that race. USA bottom 3 in France. Despite what happened at the start of lap 3 there, they're able to control that first place at least. Wow.
Yeah. So maybe it wasn't actually maybe it wasn't actually a USA shock, and maybe France just pulled it last set. You never know. I thought that maybe the US was going to be passing them up a little bit more at the end, but that certainly wasn't the case. So again, we kind of just had to get right into it, everybody. So we'll Kevin and I here are going to maybe talk about predictions a little bit in the early stages of this match 1. And
for sure,
I think it goes without saying that France is probably your favorite here. They've gotten the 2nd place finishes in Japan the last 2 8 World Cups. So they are definitely, I'd say, the favorite. But, a lot of people are thinking that USA may be able to have an upset in the tank. But,
Yeah, and I mean, based off of what history warrants, what history tells us, I mean, the shift of power between these two teams, it's been relatively steady. But, I mean, the results from year to year in past World Cups has kind of gone back and forth. I mean, we have the infamous 2015 series of 3. That one was pretty big. And
the last series of 3, actually, between these two teams.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because everything else has either been single elimination or just a sweep. I mean, US sweeping in 2017 and France just taking them out in single elim in 2018. So, I mean, it's kind of been back and forth for these teams. And, I mean, if we're talking about France, being that team that can take down Japan in the finals pretty reliably, possibly, we might be seeing a France in 3, but nothing is guaranteed here in the semifinals for sure.
Yeah, and if there is any series or matchup in the World Cup's history that has been unpredictable, it's certainly been this one. We're just talking about 2015. France probably won the match that USA was supposed to win. USA probably won the match that France was supposed to win. We've seen top 6s on race 11. We've seen comebacks that France has let up after leading the entire match. And anything can happen in this one.
It feels like that comes from these two teams just being very explosive. And I mean, when you are a top team, when you're a favorite, you can get those big races. And I mean, you can orchestrate big things in the clutch. And I mean, we've seen time and time again, that's what these two teams can do. USA, I mean, in the last round of this final bracket stage, was able to come back against Germany. You were actually watching that very closely. So, I mean, I'm excited. This is going to be
Power's
a good
breaking
one.
in.
Oh, yeah. That's Roberto up in first.
Yeah, I don't think that they even. I don't even know if he connected on strike. Maybe he did, but he could have had a shroom to recover. This is a 1-3-4 right now. A lot of Waluigi's. Well, 11 Waluigi's in the. I guess, but he's vulnerable right now to any red.
If Power can.
That's a bad double miss. Also, they're going to have a chance to get him out here. I don't know if they're going to throw, but we'll see.
Looks like he will be protected in the final turns here. Got to watch out for any back spam, but yeah. Power able to clutch out that second, but we'll see what unfolds behind him, of course, because, I mean...
I think USA was holding the blue, so they will be in the back, but...
Oh, yeah.
Pretty even race going to the USA.
Slight win for the United States still, yeah. Wow. And these are close match. I mean, that pack was tight, especially for Wild Woods. I mean, it was, a 10-second gap between first and last, it felt like. Not even...
Yeah, you like to kind of feel the opponent out a little bit in the first few races, see what the vibe is going to be. A lot of times it really gets revealed how you step up, or like stack up, I guess. And I think the encouraging thing is that Roberto found the front right there, because he is an incredible weapon in first place. Very hard to stop. And you kind of get the versatility of a biker that comes with him. So.
Right. And it appears that... USA is going to be playing off of that Roberto first there with a Piranha Plant slide. Another good track for a bike. And I mean, it seems like US has the right amount of go-to tracks, especially in these advantageous spots that can accommodate the bike, but also, give the rest of the team a chance to run. Because, I mean, Roberto has been, he's been grinding, and his
this
ability,
is what a biker gives you, right? The versatility to pick tracks that you may not feel super comfortable with or like in another situation.
Absolutely. I mean, the fact that he can keep up with the top here is impressive in itself, as Power is fighting up for that first place.
Yeah, that shroom is clutch, but Roberto's not going to give this up easy.
Yeah, big draft from Roberto, too.
And this second one's going to be very convenient if Strike isn't able to land this red, because this is a cut that is going to be coming at the end of the lap, and he will be out of here, but he's going to have to survive for another 5 to 10 more seconds.
They need to watch spacing, too. The pack is tight. Yeah, Strike
I'm really glad
opting to throw that yet.
I'm really glad that he took the box in second, because that would have been the way to give it up, if anything.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And it looks like
that
the entirety
of the Sindo looks like.
Yeah,
they have a shot right here.
United States is following right behind Power.
Saro's up there, one of the more under the radar recent, really strong French players, kind of up there as well. I mean, this is his first year on the team.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, Power doing a great job holding down the front right here. He's got Demon a couple spots behind him there, so I mean...
He's going to take a shot, I think.
Needed.
There it is.
Oh, good shot, yeah. Oh, no, it lags
never mind.
Bomb. Not quite going to connect on anyone there. Good shot, though, but... Yeah, seems like Power has a chance here to break away a bit. Demon backing him in second. There comes Dayam, too, a top 3 for France right now.
Yeah, this is looking like pretty okay scenario. Like, even when they didn't get Power off first, they had some presence, the US. But again, lap 3, this is starting to look a little bit tough for them.
Yeah, and I mean, doesn't seem like there's much contention in the top spots. USA
the guy
had a
in
chance
12
there with a couple reds they had lap 1, but...
Okay, that was probably lag, but we'll see.
Oh yeah, 12th is pretty far behind, but... I
mean, the good news
anything...
for Roberto is the shroom could get him up to second, potentially. No shock will happen, it appears.
Yeah, no shock. This last shortcut's going to do a lot. I mean, for Dayam, looks like a Team France member also snuck up there.
Who got second? That is the question. I think France was last right there. If this is a US member, it is not.
Oh, that's huge from Starlo, Power, and Dayam, top 3. And I think that was 5 as well. 5th as well, question mark?
No, Strike got 5th.
Oh, okay, I see. 6th,
yeah,
and then
2 of them got bottom 3.
Ooh, I mean, that's still a very big statement from France, though. Able to crack it open a little bit more. 10-12 is not going to be great, but still the top 3 able to hold it down. I mean now they're going to try to sway the track pick here.
They'll absolutely take that.
Yeah,
and again,
sure.
you know, even if you have 2 in the bottom 3, that doesn't stop you from building on the lead a little bit with, you know, RWS, Wario Stadium. that's where you're going to get a lot of the pressure on the opponent to
Agreed.
really make you get out of the top spots. Because if you can't do it, this is where France starts stacking the races, and this is where it starts getting really, really scary.
Yeah, and I mean, who would you expect for the United States right now to step up and start contending for the top? Because I mean, we've seen Roberto a little bit. He kind of fell out, kind of numbers advantage there for France. But who else? Who else is going to do this job? Because France is building numbers up there.
Well, we're at the level right now where certainly anyone in the team is going to be able to do it. But if you're talking about strong runners, Isaiah comes to mind, Strike comes to mind. I know Cinda on his best days can be a really tough to deal with runner. Of course, there's Roberto.
For sure.
Roberto, I think, may have actually gotten up there already. He just straight up did. So
he drafted up. We cannot count Roberto out at all.
Nah, he's gone already. I don't know exactly what happened there.
It seems that we can. Okay.
Likely just a bad bump up there. You take a gamble sometimes when you start in fourth on the track. You get a shroom, but regardless, there is a decent presence of Americans up in the top 5 right now.
Yeah, looking like a 2-3-4 or a 2-3-5. Oh yeah, 2-3-5-6. It seems we see Isaiah and that's Cinda up there.
Oh no, that's kind of rough right there. This is a bottom 4 for France, if I'm not mistaken, and how this game works. It's very much a numbers game, mismatches. And the fact that the blue came out there makes me wonder if they already redded France out. There's a lot of them up there already, and it's going to get scary.
Only be assumed that the United States is consuming a lot of those top spots. Yeah, we see Roberto up there in third, our favorite friend. We're able to identify him at least.
Yeah, Strike is dipping back also to kind of negate the power that a France shot could get, or maybe to get his own. And the amount of bills has been kind of questionable right now
for sure.
Team France. I think it's Dax back there, but he is absolutely selling his race for it right now. Really good sign if you're a USA fan.
Seems France has a couple dodges coming out. Power not going to use his, so nothing seemed to be coordinated in the back there.
Power's going to need to be
on his own shot right now. Yeah.
This could be a plus 30 if things go right. And Strike has it, if anything.
Does he have it? No, I think
he does.
Hold up, we're going to look back.
He did. He used it. He's not going to let them get the chance to get it off. And Strike is going to be making his way all the way back up front right now. But France pulls a blue at the set, which is going to help quite a bit.
Rookie, you're so absolutely right. Power's coming up here in 7th. He has a chance to pass up a few people at least.
Oh, that missed double is really painful.
Oh, the pack is so close. Everyone has mushrooms. Oh, a bomb comes out on Isaiah. That could be huge for France. Power falling too.
Yeah, and if anything, this is a lot of bomb toss for France. It will be a plus 20 for the U.S., I would imagine.
Oh,
but the Dam first is so clutch.
8, 10, 11, 12 is pain for France. Who clutched out first? I didn't see that.
It was Dam. And Dam's on 55 after 4 right now.
Dam is clutching it out for France right now. He is putting up mad points.
Now, you have to wonder, was the shock good or was it bad? I think it was the right play.
Other stream. I didn't see the shock being used. What can you elaborate on the shock again?
Well, what happened was France had 3 of the bottom 4. Strike went back to negate the impact of one, pulled it himself, and the pressure is knowing that the other team has 3 of the bottom 4. If you do something neutral, it's going to make it a lot harder to catch up. And I think it was the right call because Strike could have definitely gotten a really good spot. That could have been a bottom 4 for France. The unsung hero of that race for Team France was the blue that they pulled in the first set because USA was entirely bunched up in the top. That took out Roberto, I believe, and probably made a lot of them go wide. It opened up just enough of a gap for Dame to slide in there and take the top spot when the rest of his teammates were occupying so much of the back.
For sure. And I mean, if you're France, you still have the lead by 6. You've got Dame up there in first. I think you had third. The bumps might mix that up a little bit, but if Dame can start to separate here, I mean, he's already on 55 after what was that, 4 races?
4. Yeah, that was just a GP.
And yeah, Power's going to get up here too. Not quite sure where. Oh yeah, Demon's right behind him, so France still able to stay up in the front there, but a lot of Americans trailing, and I mean, they got to dispose of them pretty quick here.
Yeah, and this is exactly what you don't want to see for the Americans right now, or maybe so.
That'll do.
NATO is making his presence known right now. I don't know if that was his bomb, but certainly delivering some hits before going down.
Yeah, NATO had a chance there with triple greens as well, but he got taken out by the ring. So France looks like they're pulling away in top 2. I remember that was a top 2 from France.
Yeah.
Power's opting to slow down here. Maybe
that single shroom sucks.
Yeah.
I don't think he waited long enough there.
He is still not very good friends with the item boxes today, it seems.
Yeah.
It's like a star.
I imagine Roberto may stop here as well.
Yeah.
Or just chain, I guess.
Sunshine Airport gliders are huge if you can get the bolt, and that seems to be the goal for Power and Roberto here. The only person we can see on the minimap from afar is in 11th, so, I mean, we can't really tell for what's going on in top 10, and oh! We might have a clue soon. Power pulls the shock, and looks like that's an American dodge coming out. A couple dodges coming out. It seems that Roberto might have a clue that France has it here.
Yeah, at this point, you're just cycling dodges, right? There's and you know, France may not even use it. They could have tough spots, or they just could, I guess.
No one shocked over the glider. Used it a little early, so no one could predict possibly.
Yeah, that's your classic element of surprise moment. I wouldn't be surprised if they had decent spots already. Let's just dodge one person, not allow USA to predict it whatsoever.
He did power pass. Someone's in last back there.
I don't know. But this looks like it has all the makings of France plus 20.
For France, this is
Strike
huge for
back
France.
here also.
The United States is all back here. That shock was massive.
Oh, they better hope that's France in last, but I don't think it is.
Oh, word. Oh, boy. Top 2, 4, 5, 6. And France has just smacked this one wide open. That is a massive race. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that it's... I wouldn't say that it's blown wide open right now. Remember, this was a plus 6 margin before the race.
Relative to what we're seeing, they dominated that race, and I mean that makes it what plus 20 at least.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Plus, let me do the math. 34. So I mean, yeah, it's been close all these races, and France gets that massive race to kind of set the tone halfway through the match.
Yeah, that race was precisely what you're wanting if you're USA on Wario Stadium. You know, you have the situation where you have all the top spots get the shock despite the other team's efforts to grab it on their own. And they use it in a way that not only didn't let the US pull anything else, but they allowed themselves to benefit even more so on top of it.
Right. Oh. We got Dolphin Shoals coming out here as well.
I like this pick for the USA. I imagine it was their pick, but maybe it was France. I wasn't looking because I know one thing that they like to do is to, for a lot of top spots, switch over to the Streetle because of the water speed, take advantage of those statistics. And a lot of times, if you don't get the pick, it'll just pick a bagging track, and you don't really have to worry about speed as much anyway because it's a dodging game.
Actually, very smart, yeah. And it looks like France is a majority of those Rosalinas up there. I didn't quite see the very start of the race, but
I think they were all of them actually.
Yeah, so
their strategy seems to be working out pretty well. I know they like using Link with this as well.
This helps as casters for sure. We see a top 2, possibly a member of France up there as well.
They're shredding them back here, though, interestingly enough. Maybe the Link would actually be USA. I'm not entirely certain.
The Link is
I think it's actually Dax.
Yeah, Dax is Link.
Actually, maybe not. I swore I saw him as Rosa earlier.
Oh, wow. Oh! Bolt comes out. That might be... Because it seemed like
I think that was USA. There's a Waluigi dodging up right now. Roberto's up there as well. I think Power just coincidentally dodged, and the US is kind of lucky that he didn't have a shock or anything like that, or else that would have been a disaster scenario.
Power set up pretty nicely for lap 3 here if you can hold on to this Bill. The Bill is extremely powerful.
Striker really tried to get him, but yeah, we all know how it works. If he can survive the next few seconds, he'll probably be putting himself in a position to win, even though the minimap does not look like it whatsoever. But Strike has a Bill of his own, so we'll see. And I think
it looks like Roberto found his way into first. Doesn't seem like there's too much banter going on between.
They just lost third though. What does Strike have behind the Bill? That's kind of important because I think this may be a top 3.
Okay.
That Golden's certainly useful. I don't think he's really going to worry about the boomerang.
Oh, Strike. Yeah, Strike gets taken out. I'm going to assume that's a United States top 2. Power has a chance to get a little closer to them.
This boomerang
Robert
could
second.
maybe reach after the motion glider.
Nice shortcut.
And
He
he
gets
gets
Roberto on
Roberto.
the line. Oh, power!
Oh, those are the
Power
plays.
to you. Wow.
Those are the plays that separate the good from the great.
Well
bottom
played.
three, that's gonna
And a
do-
bottom three.
That's just a straight up France win. I thought
Deadly
for sure.
from power.
I thought for sure they were going to be able to catch up a little bit, but no. Power with an agenda of his own. And that right there is the power of the motion glider. Like,
For
you
sure.
can gain a lot on that glider ordinarily, but he had a wide open shot. That was like a 3-throw, dude. All you had to do is throw it forward. That was barely, like, that was not even close to being out of range because of how well he took that.
A little more to the left, he could have nailed both of them. He was definitely in range, but that's all you can ask for. Power coming in with a clutch play, and that separates the lead a little more. That was a 4-point or 6-point win, it seems.
That was looking like a top 3-5 also. That's worth noting. I think that could have easily been the avenue back end for the Americans.
We saw Roberto and Isaiah in top 2. We weren't sure if it was Isaiah at that moment, but they seemed to be driving with each other, and then it became clearer and clearer as Power took that shortcut that he was coming in for the kill, and France cannot be complaining. Up 40 after, that was 6 races?
Yeah. I just can't believe I had the audacity to say that the boomerang may not be that useful to him.
He proved us wrong there for sure. And yeah, we're at the halfway point of game 1 here. France with a 40-point lead, and I mean,
Roberto got a shroom. That's a interesting storyline early. Gonna let them get back into the top immediately. Maybe with a little bit of a fight, but yeah, I miss the Rosalinas already. Don't know who anybody is anymore.
Yeah. Okay, so we're halfway through this match. Does anything about the United States strategy change, or do you think what they're doing right now is sustainable to bring this back?
I personally am of the opinion that like the whole change your strategy a ridiculous amount is a little bit overrated. Now, Canada did wonders last week, but again, I think a lot of the reason why we saw those strategies to begin with was because they believed that they were not going to beat Japan playing in normal war. I don't think that's the case for the Americans here. I don't think that they think that France is unbeatable using conventional methods. They just have to execute a little bit better, I think. Because, again, they had the looks. They had it on Shoals. They had it on RWS. But France on Sunshine Airport had a similar one, and they got so much more out of that race than what they did on the others. A lot of that may come down to the blue.
Sorry to interrupt, but it looks like Isaiah has the shock, Yeah,
and that's how it begins, right? Oh, and they really just dodged Power last frame.
That was
I don't think it matters too much.
Oh,
gets hit anyway.
And so, I mean, yeah, you have a good point. The United States just needs to find their groove, and possibly that shot could be the start of finding it, as that seemed like a pretty good place to set up for lap 3. They have a lot of people up in top, it seems.
Isaiah is the only person back in the bottom 4 for them right now.
Yeah.
The pack is really a lot closer than I was expecting, though. So they're going to have to hope that they can hold on, maybe win the battles or the trades up there. And we'll see, but I'm not certain if they have amazing spots.
No, this might be a United States top spots. There's a lot of French up here in the
cut at the end, right?
Yeah.
They better hope they have like a bomb or something, but
seems like there's 1 or 2 Frenchmen up there in the top.
Brandon goes down. NATO at least got 3rd. They better hope to have at least 1 more up there. Okay.
Top 2, 6, 7, 8. Yeah.
All right. There's your start. There's
a winning race for the United States. And I mean, you got to... and the United States, I have found while watching and casting a lot of their matches this year, is they are so good once they get things rolling. And that's really easy to say, when you've got the momentum, you're good. But they are just a different level of explosiveness and domination when they start to pile those, small victories together and find their groove. So, I mean,
yeah, you're absolutely correct. Historically, the United States does not go away against France. We've seen 50-point margins multiple times. We saw the 100-point margin back in 2014. They don't go away whatsoever. So if we want to learn anything from the past, it's that this is absolutely not over. Maybe it's even a little bit personal. They aren't going to let France get away with them winning easily whatsoever. So, we'll have to see how it goes. That's a little bit of a building block right there. They need to get another one if they want to push this one to a uncomfortable GP3 for France. We'll see how it goes, though.
We are getting to know the context of this rivalry a little more as the match unfolds, and I mean...
6-7-8's big, too. I wasn't certain that they had that. So
I mean,
that's great.
what is that? A 28-point match after 7 is definitely a feat that can be overcome here for the United States. France,
we've watched a lot of good teams lose by a lot more to France at this point in the tournament already. So again, this is definitely within striking distance. One important thing to know right there, while NATO goes down, USA, I do believe, is in. Actually, maybe France did get into first. I don't actually see for certain. There's at least one of them up there, though.
France did sneak up there. Dayam is shrooming up into second. That's Isaiah.
Oh no!
First.
Okay, I was about to say no way.
Not going to be able to dodge those, and looks like France here able to pull.
What's going on in the mini map, dude? Yeah. What is going on in the mini map?
Blue's coming out. Yeah, Dayam has a chance to dodge this one.
Did you see that wall that we? Okay.
I'm only interested in Dayam right now. I'm sorry.
There's a wall that is super frozen on the map, like right after like the first opening cut right there. So I'm wondering what exactly is going on.
Interested? Yeah, I mean, he's been there for a while now. There might be a chance that's a disconnect. Yeah, that's probably a disconnect by now if he's not really moving. But
yeah, and the wonder is like, will the room even finish? I mean, it's an invalid race if it is like that to begin with. Really. We'll see, though. If not, I would imagine it's a big lag penalty, but we'll see. This is a top 2 at least for France right now. We'll have to see the further development on the potential room crash here.
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, besides Cinda up there in third, it might be a lot of France following behind him. This could be a huge race for France. We're not really sure on the state of the disconnect. We'll figure that out very soon, but for the time
Power's going down.
Oh, yeah. And there comes the blue. France was probably holding that blue.
There's a lot of US, actually. That are going to be passing on the line.
Power might get passed here. Yeah, the United States coming in,
I don't think
2-3.
What is going on the mini-map? I've never seen something like this. Usually, like, the room breaks when that happens, but everybody was getting their items.
It seemed like the room only broke for
one. No way it finishes, right?
Person?
Like, no way it finishes.
Who was that? That wasn't host, no?
I don't think so.
That would be an instant disconnection, yeah. This not looking like this room is going to finish.
Everybody got their spots is the awkward thing, too.
Yeah.
I don't think you can count this race.
Here. I don't think this is going to count.
Because that was happening on lap 1. I was like, what is this mini-map on? Yeah, they got disconnected right there. So...
Well, F's in chat, folks. We've got a little bit of an intermission. Good timing for one, but seems that we can actually.
Yeah, we also got Cinda's perspective. We were hoping to cast Isaiah a little bit, but it's not working for Marlon at the moment. Shout out to Marlon, by the way, getting home and setting up the stream. We needed it quite badly.
Our boy is here.
You got to shout out the people who do some of the behind the scenes work on occasion. He's been huge for us. So
for sure.
Yeah, I guess we could go over lineups, right? That's a great suggestion, Marlon. If you want to put them up. Kevin, I'll let you take over here. The quick note is we did notice an error. They defeated Germany, not England. So.
Yes.
Yes, but other than that.
Yes, so we got the United States lineup here. Now that we've seen a bit of them so far. But yeah, this is looking to be the United States' best lineup. I mean, for this semifinals match, you've got to bring out the best. And I mean, we saw pretty much this group of players play against Germany, yes? Was this the same lineup?
Yeah, I think they've been using this lineup for everything in the Cup at this point. It's what they feel comfortable with. It's what's got the synergy. What they feel comfortable with, quite frankly.
Well, I mean, yeah, we were talking... there's several roles in this lineup. I mean, we were talking about Roberto being a dynamic runner, Strike and Isaiah being just dominant runners in general, and the unique NATO, the USA Mona, the... meat shield almost, the kind of the internet troll. We see a lot of schlagging, a lot of team play happening in the pack from him. So I mean, all around, just a very functional United States lineup.
Well, I got to talk to NATO a little bit before the match and ask his thoughts on everything. He said that one of the great things of this lineup is like, traditionally you see Roberto as somebody who's going to be like carrying in the front. And a lot of times he's known to do like pack stuff, etc. But one thing he mentioned is that he feels comfortable with everybody doing everything in this lineup, and that's truly how you optimally play the game. And again, like you mentioned, the whole internet troll stuff. In our discussion also, he said, When you're a competitor, a lot of times you say this means the world to me. Like we care so much, we want to win. One thing NATO said in particular is like, yeah, France probably does care more than us, but it would be really funny if we won. So that's our motivation, because it'd be awesome if we did win. And it's not like they don't want to win on their own. But,
Definitely,
that was very much the perspective coming out from NATO there.
I like it. Awesome. Well, so we have France here, and France has, I mean, over time, over the 7 years we've done the World Cup, has been a carefully crafted lineup. We've seen players kind of have their mainstay, rotate out. We've, the veterans back in the day like Kiver and Kamek.
Yeah, I saw Kiver in the chat earlier. Actually, he's here to rep his team.
Oh, hell
What's
yeah.
up, Kiver?
Yeah, but so it seems that France just over time has, found those top players who have the right combinations of chemistry, ability, intelligence. I mean, they really compete and communicate as a unit. I mean, we even see in MKU and our Mario Kart leagues dominant French teams coming through. I mean, we had World Friend and RE as the two mainstays in the finals this year, didn't we? This last season.
And this is pretty much a mixed lineup of the two right now. And Power told me before the match also, they feel like it's not even that much of a transition to play together, because a lot of them know each other in person, and it's just seamless. They all it's a universal language, this game. They understand it. Right. And really it's just about getting the chemistry together, and they feel like almost any France lineup that they put together is a winner. Like whatever they do, it feels like everybody understands the objective. Everybody's going to be selfless as possible. That's just how it is. And Scartax, along with Starlo, who is a newer player, I think they're definitely both first-time players. Scartax, I think, will be playing Game 2 for Dax. But yeah, I think it's cool to see, some veterans. I think, I want to say that Demon was on the 2015 roster, which is a really long time ago. I think he was a rookie back then.
Demon's another one. I forgot to mention him, but he's been around for years. And so France, just the veteranship and the ability to bring new guys in and really, get them meshing with the core of your squad is what is so impressive about them.
Like, I'm not even certain I knew about Starlo this time last year as a player. And now they're bringing Starlo out against Team USA in the semifinals of the World Cup. So, yeah, they find talent.
Sure.
They find talent, and they have them at a level ready to compete in literally no time whatsoever.
Absolutely. And so let's reset on this match. So points are reset,
timing.
But the score still stands 301, 273. Bone Dry Dunes did not count because it didn't finish. So we have race.
It was never going to count anyway. Forget everything you saw. It was not a valid race. That Waluigi was quite literally frozen since lap 1.
What you saw was a lie.
Yep.
But anyways, here we are. This is race 8. We got DK Jungle. Spots and room probably were a little mixed up, so we'll have to establish that pretty quickly. But assuming I think this was a France pick. They've got to have at least first.
It was because it was on the USA for the room closure, I think. So they got the spots in the room. They were hosting already. It makes a ton of sense that it would be France's pick.
And so I mean, if that's France still holding on to first, they're a top 2-4 for the French group. We can't quite see the name tag yet, but we can only assume Demon, holding on to first.
Fireflower guys in here.
United States.
Oh, that boomerang's huge.
Power gets dunked into the gap by the Rang, and he's back here in 9th all of a sudden.
I think NATO got hit also, but he's going to be as annoying as possible. He had a red also.
There's the internet troll content we've been looking for.
I'm not sure if I like that entirely, though. He put Power into bottom 4 right there. You have to worry about the potential shock. What does Dayam have right there? I see something yellow. Probably just a star, but you want to make sure that we take a look at that, because he is holding.
Yeah, he used that through the cut, so that was a star.
Power's going to have to hold this, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think Demon survived the beginning, but I think the U.S. has a lot of those upper middle spots right now and could actually be in position to win.
Because that Waluigi was way further back before this.
I don't know for certain.
That'll be revealed to us soon, as Power can't really do much with this blue shell while he's holding.
Yeah, 12 fights is a mystery, man. Holding this blue is almost this. Like, you have to do it, but if this is US 2 through 3, Roberto is clearly communicated that they're holding blue right now. this could be a little bit of a detriment to Power. He's not going to be able to dodge anything. He may have to hold it.
Yeah,
and his teammate could get redded at the end.
United States might be able to orchestrate a double red, possibly looking like first is a little far ahead. We'll see what occurs
in the
on
next few seconds, because if it's happening, it's coming now.
No, that's a France first for sure. Try not to jinx anything, but yeah.
You have to wonder who was actually in second, too. We don't know who was in last as well.
I'm not sure who was in last, but
if that's a bottom 3, that's huge for USA.
Oh, that is still pretty huge from USA, despite no bottom 3, only because there's the 8 through 11, and that's that's a win by at least 15 or so. That's got to be. The first kind of, keeps it within range, but
yeah, I don't know about 15, but that, I mean, maybe. The thing that you worry about now for France is that this is suddenly close again.
Yeah.
If you're USA, you're chilling right now. Going to GP3, you're like, yeah, I mean, we weren't supposed to win, according to all the experts. But here we are. We're down just 18 going into GP3. We feel like we have the momentum. All we have to do is get like one shock, and France may be panicking.
Well, right. And I mean, like we were discussing just a couple minutes ago, once the United States starts to get the ball rolling, they can kind of chain together those races. And I mean, all of a sudden, it's an 18-point match, and they don't seem to be looking to slow down. I mean, they've got numbers in the middle there. If they can take out France's first, then they can possibly pull out a group run, but it'll be up to who is that in first again, player-wise? I know it's France, but
it may be Demon. I don't know for certain because he was in first early, I want to say. It was
not
Demon,
like that is too crazy of an issue because Demon is turning right around. Yeah. We're going to have a bit of a half bag, half run thing
not
going on here. Right.
That's an interesting decision. Just let USA immediately into top 2 because running can matter here.
Well, yeah, there's
saying it always does, but
3 Americans in the top 5 here, it seems. So I mean, France is going to have to at least get a couple people up there quick.
I mean, I kind of believe this is how you do it. Yeah, Senda's gonna. Yeah, that's the right play
nice
on Senda.
Trail.
And the pressure is suddenly on France to actually get this shock.
Well, and that's kind of what I was hinting at, because I mean, you kind of dipped your first out there, had no contention up in the front spots, and now almost a free top 3 for the United States. Top 4, there comes Isaiah.
Now the worry is if you have too many people up here who's dodging, right?
Right, and I feel that there's at least 2 Americans back.
How did Power get into? Yeah, there is. So
yeah, Robert's been kind of, or Roberto at least has been kind of containing these top or these bottom spots here. Oh, there comes the blue as well. Yeah, the United States is going to be falling.
They're gone though. They're actually gone though. So if there's no shock in play right now, like I don't think the blue even does that
Someone's
much.
Probably selling for the bolt though.
I mean, USA ought to have dodges at this point.
Yeah, there's no double boxes back there at least, so they're not going to have many tries at the boxes.
And Power's not going to have anything right now. This looks to be a pretty secure top 2.
So congested, though. That's a mess. It seems like there's at least a top 2 coming out for the States.
If this is a bottom
that's a
3,
lot of France back
this could be big.
This could turn the tables big. This did. Oh, boy. And yeah, a big race was honestly in the works for the United States. That Mario Circuit did not turn out well for France. I don't really understand the strategy there.
I'm not going to sit here and say that a race was decided in the first second, but I don't understand. I don't understand why Demon wouldn't just drive forward. Like first clearly does matter on RMC. It's not like Desert or Cheese necessarily. It's like you take the run, right? Yeah. It's like maybe you get hit out and stuff. It's like you can't just let them be gone in top 3. Like it almost felt like a choice. And
the other
Kevin.
Oh yeah, keep going.
The United States are in the lead.
Oh my gosh. I knew you noticed that right away. Yeah, it's an 8-point lead for the States. And the theme of this rivalry is when you're down, you never seem to go away. And the United States have crawled right back up, and they've got an 8-point lead. And we're race 10. And so all the momentum is on the side of the Americans here. France going Trainbow Road. Do they have anything in the bag right now? What comes with this pick?
Well, I'm not the biggest fan personally, but I understand what they're doing. They have more coins. They think they're going to draft. They think they're going to cause a little bit of a ruckus, I guess. This is what you pick this track for. You don't go into picking 64 Rainbow Road with honest intentions. You just want something to mix stuff up. And
This is Chaos Ball right here, especially
yeah,
this first glider too.
Yeah, we're gonna learn a lot in the first 15 seconds. It's very much like Moo Moo Meadows in a sense in that way, where
Oh yeah,
the beginning is very impactful.
all those paper gliders. Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
I mean,
So many shrooms are in play right now.
Power here with the
Roberto's got a
shroom.
red.
Pretty good situation for him, yeah.
Who will get into first when it all matters? It looks like it will be Power.
That shroom was big for Power, but he's got a lot of Americans behind him.
He is
He's
swarmed
clenching
right now.
He's clenching. Does he
Got
just
some
hold onto the
defense.
screen? He's
I mean,
not gonna
he's got to, right?
Double protection.
Demon can maybe offer some support up here. Not the pull you really want, though, for Power.
Isaiah
that
was
goes
huge.
down.
Isaiah's gone. Yeah, he can pull out another defense here, and
that's a top 3.
They're swift. France might be trying to answer right back.
Oh yeah, like they definitely could.
Where the shock's in play. Very short track here, and Chaos Ball
France
might
has everything, dude. They have literally everything. I imagine this has to be a top 4 unless one of the U.S. snuck into third.
I think there's an American
coming in.
Blue coming out for Power.
It should hit, right? But
it'll get him in the glider, and it looks like he's going to be able to preserve a top spot. Yeah,
he's more than fine.
Demon.
Looks like Strike may have gone third, which is a saving grace for the Americans, but certainly that paid dividends.
That could be a. Oh, that was huge for France.
I thought I saw Strike.
3, 5, 6.
Was it an illusion?
The lead for America is no more. Oh boy. Okay, hold up. That was massive.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so big on Power to get into first right away there and just run that.
Yeah.
That shroom was massive. Oh.
Shout outs to Demon also completely redeeming himself this race, immediately getting up there, allowing Power to shift his items a little bit. If he didn't get up there, they had a ton of them.
Oh, a TikTok clock coming up here could be massive.
France does not care about history. They do not care about history.
It's unpredictable, rookie.
We've seen a very interesting race 11 TikTok clock in this game before with a France lead. They do not care. They are saying this time will be different. Do they get it? They don't.
Look like it. And Electrodrome, we're playing an enhanced oval here. This one will be fun.
Enhanced oval. Or oval, you say. I don't know about Electrodrome. Maybe Excite Bike Arena. Can't contain your excitement, clearly.
True. Nah, but so Excite Bike Arena here. We watched the United States crawl back, get an 8-point lead. They seem to have all this momentum coming, and then a massive shot to the chest from France, pulling into the lead by 16. How do you approach this? I mean, mentally at least.
Excite Bike Arena's one of those tracks where so much can happen that is just completely unexpected. Clearly, the Americans picked this because it is very, I guess, annoying to get coins. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
And they had a ton of bottom spots. That's, I think, the thought process. Maybe one of them gets a shroom, they think. Roberto clearly did that, but they're going to have to protect him a little bit better, or else he'll be going down soon. Strike is going to at least make that process easier.
Definitely, and you don't want to fall too far behind on Excite.
There's a lot of Americans back here.
Late laps, too.
Can they get shocked? Because that would absolutely be massive for them.
Yeah, that could send them straight into a winning race.
So I think Roberto is like, I can't actually see him on the mini map right now.
Roberto
is he out of
first? I'm pretty sure he got sniped by Demon. I think it may have been lag, but it's looking like Roberto's just mid pack up there. He's in fourth.
Yeah, so that is probably indicating that France is in first. I don't think that there's a shock in play right now. So. Yeah. Strike's going back for it. Cinda wasn't really in the best spot. Power is holding blue, yeah.
That might take Power out of this race.
Yeah, but there's a lot of USA back here to begin with.
Oh boy. And France is trying to swing this momentum.
Blue is coming out, though. That probably means they have a horn, if anything. You'll have to see.
Or they dropped. That's a couple people getting blue. That's
blue
definitely
is
American.
First.
An American.
They're throwing fire.
Oh,
Why are
top 3 for France!
Oh my gosh.
Oh my days!
Four
Oh,
through
they swung
six.
that huge. And
Four
yeah,
through
it
six
looks like
may salvage the match, but this is going to look tough.
France dropped out of first and due to something because that blue hit 2 people and at least 1 American because that's a lot of the US in the back.
All right. We're looking for that score update right now. I don't think it's over yet. But by
Mathematically,
God,
no,
it's got to
but
be close.
France is swinging this one big. And kind of like 2015, the only other series of this I casted, France in game 1 took control of that last race. And I mean, even though this isn't a last race thing, this is late game France taking over and just knowing how to perform in the clutch and knowing how to communicate and run. And they have just been, these last 2 races swung that by, nearly 40 or 50, it seems.
Man, they are all disagreeing right now. They are all disagreeing on the pick right now.
The
France
United
committed
States
to TikTok
in
clock.
shambles currently as
Well,
France pulls into a big race 12 lead.
we have seen the United States top 6 France before in the winner's semifinals of the World Cup. Do they have another one in them? Because they quite literally need it if they want to take this match. We're going to either see history repeat itself in the most insane way, or we're just going to see the 1-0 that we're expecting.
Do you think they're talking about that in call, or are they just
Absolutely
laser
not.
focused
As they
currently?
should not. They should not care.
Okay, good.
You can't let a track live rent free in your head. And a matter of fact, they are embracing it fully. We're going to see. United States are going to have to take a lot of risk on this.
True, and I mean they're already down, by so much considering it's race 12 that I mean they either are just short and lose or they get blown out this race and still lose. I mean they can win this race with the top 6, of course, but they've
Who
really got
cares how
nothing to lose
bad
by
you
taking
lose?
risks.
You're
Exactly.
you're absolutely right.
It'll be a 1-0 series if they do lose, but a top 6 is the goal right now, it seems.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to bag or hold blues though. That's the huge worry. If they pull blue, that is detrimental to getting a plus 40.
Right. I mean, it seems like France is calmly holding on to that, at least that top 2 up there, like they did at the start of the race.
Sin is holding on to a star right now.
There goes Dax. Oh, yeah.
Blue
Power's
is in
back there.
possession of France. I think they're going to be
that's huge
holding
for
it
France.
probably behind the star. Maybe messing with their heads a little bit. No, we're just going to have it out. I think Power just has to hold this, and
Yeah,
there's
Power's
no
just got to
shock.
hold that. If France gets first, then this is mathematically a game 1 for France. We'll see what occurs lap 3. Doesn't seem like the bolt is in play.
Oh, and Dax has reds. All Dax has to do is just stop and hit Cinder right now.
Tanking those back, yeah. Cinda, really no opening
there
to
he
creep
is.
up here. He's got to take some risks.
France. I love
Triple
it for
reds
France.
for himself, not working. France is doing wonders in holding the United States.
Yeah, they know they have first. Create the wall. Don't let Cinda through. Don't let any of them through. This one is going to be in the books. No shock whatsoever.
Oh,
France is going to take game 1.
Turning the tables. They take game 1 of the Mario Kart 8 semifinals. And top 2, 4, 5. Those last 3 races swung by at least 70 points.
Yeah, that
60,
was
60 or 70, something along the lines of that. Wow.
Those are some big races at the end. Who would have? I mean, if you show this to us like after race 7, I guess like the final score or something, nobody would believe you when you say, "Oh yeah, USA was actually winning after race 9," because like France had a solid lead before the room break.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I would
gives it up temporarily, and then this just happens.
And
Easy
I mean,
peasy,
you look
plus 54.
In the grand scheme of things, you look at that final score, and it's not necessarily a blowout, but you could have definitely believed that this match had been close through at least half of it, and it was good. But United States has a familiar task. Their backs are against their walls in a series of 3. And we definitely know the American squad is capable of a reverse 2-0 if they need be. But France is just eyeing Japan right now, because Japan awaits in the finals, and you got to assume they're hungry as hell.
Oh yeah, they definitely like. the thing to be said about this rivalry is not even just like, it's not even about evening the score, right? I mean, I guess it is 5-5 now all time. It's not even just about getting the winning
All
record
time,
back. It's about denying the other the opportunity to be the one to beat Japan first. Maybe it doesn't happen this year, but it could. And if it's going to happen, you sure as hell want it to be your team that is the one that does it. Because you only get to beat Japan for the first time once. That's something we haven't seen yet. It's still very much a story that is still yet to be written. Who's going to do it? How's it going to be done? That is up to the future to decide.
Well, and in either an hour or 2 hours, we do not know yet. We will have that answer. Who will have the chance, to contend with Japan in the finals? Japan probably really interested in the results of this match so far now. I'm not sure. I'm guessing they're up. I'm not quite sure what the time is over there, but some of them probably watching and thinking, man, we got our hands full regardless.
I think I saw Avalon in the chat, actually.
Oh, nice.
Hopping in, taking a look.
Good.
Yeah, to refer to the people in the chat, both these teams have gone 2 swings at Japan in the finals. And both of them have lost both times. The US have taken 2 games against Japan. It's just, unfortunately for them, it did not happen in the same tournament. So Japan is still yet to drop a World Cup. That being said, I think both these teams have a shot. Maybe not a huge chance, but I think it could happen. A lot of people believe Japan is untouchable. I've kind of painted the picture that we shouldn't believe that they're going to lose until they lose, because every time we think that they're vulnerable, they prove us wrong.
Right.
But there are some people that believe that France is on their level, if not ahead. And I think a lot of people thought that USA couldn't compete with France, and we saw that was clearly not the case in the last match. Because if you're having a lead 75% of the way in, clearly you have the power to do it. It's just a matter of actually doing it. They didn't get it in game 1, but this is not over yet.
Well, yeah.
Love to see.
And we're seeing a lot of conversation about, the common scrimmages between Japan and France. In this little, grace week we've had between rounds of the bracket, Japan and France have played a lot. And there's been a lot of Japanese teams streaming on YouTube the match. And France has taken a couple of those, but we've seen some key players from these Japan lineups missing. I know I tuned into one a couple days ago and Monar wasn't playing, and France was able to pull out a 50 or so point win. So, once I want to see what happens when any of these 3 teams put their best lineup out there. And right now we're seeing that from what we could consider second and third in the favorite tier list for this World Cup.
Look, let's be real here. I remember in the 2015 finals, USA takes game 2 against Japan, and we're just kind of like, at the time, we can do this. We just got to take one more game, right? Well,
Right.
Japan sometimes gets a little bit lazy. Sometimes they're like, let's have everybody play. And in game 3, they're like, oh, if we lose this next game, we lose the cup. And they put out a roster of 6 that was pretty incredible and absolutely destroyed USA in game 3.
Yeah.
It was not pretty. We may have been there. I don't remember.
20. I think I played in
I
a
think
match
we were
against
both
Japan
there.
with USA. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
game
remember
3.
if this was
It was very, very tough. And even in 2017, USA takes another game in Grands, sends them to the bracket reset, and the lineup switches a little bit, and suddenly, oh, yeah, they have it under control. So game 2 coming up in just a minute. Who gets the chance at Japan? France has to win one more. USA got to win 2 in a row now.
And we are expecting the match to start around the hour. Are we expecting to start relatively soon?
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
I imagine we can't wait too long. It's pretty late for France, but
yeah, someone in chat mentioned that France is currently playing at 2 a.m. on a Monday, and I don't know who agreed to that, but hell, it works for the majority of the chat right now, so we're chilling.
You don't get to play Japan in World Cup every day, so certainly maybe they're a little bit motivated to go get that opportunity.
And for match 2, in terms of lineups, you did mention the possibility of Scartax coming in for Dax. Is that the case for game 2?
Yeah, I think he will be subbing out Dax. This wasn't something that happened because of performance or anything. This is quite literally
Right.
just it was going to happen the entire time.
Okay, cool.
So
I mean,
that's worth noting.
France going to be bringing out again Dam, Demon, Power. Was it Swift, Starlo, and now Scartax? That's their 6.
If everything remains as is, then the answer is yes.
Yes, and then we're assuming the United States bring out their same lineup. They've pretty much solidified their 6. And
Yep.
we will be running this one back very shortly.
Yeah. Another thing that's worth noting. We're talking about France playing pretty late on Sunday night. Now, a lot of people are working tomorrow, right? MKFR, that channel, showing no signs of being ready to sleep. They are booming right now. They
450
are,
viewers? Hell
yeah, they're excited, as they should be. They just won game 1. One
Well,
more to close them out.
that goes back to you were they've got the lineups on their stream too. They put Scartax in there, so that is confirmed. But we were talking earlier about joking about NATO being like, oh, France probably wants this more than us. And I mean, that's not to undersell the idea that the United States wants to win this for sure. But France, I mean, you see all of their players are into it. Their casting teams got this, whole setup going as well. And the chat is just losing it right now. They are hyped after game 1. So a lot of people on the line here hoping for France to pull this game 2 out, and a lot of Americans definitely hoping for the United States to answer. And I mean, this match, how do you think starting off this match is on a good foot is the most important part, or do you think
Oh, for sure. Like,
yeah,
yeah, I make a statement, right? And I think that really everybody that's not like a France fan is probably rooting for USA in this next match. It's not even if they like the USA or if it's about that. It's more so about the can we get a game 3, because that's where all the fun stuff tends to happen.
True.
You take a game, maybe steal one, who knows? And if they do, we're going to have a very intense situation. But the scary thing for the USA right now is France now has a little bit of a security buffer. The pressure's off, right? Like if they don't get this next game, okay, it's not the end of the world for them. For USA, if they lose this one, it's just over. Season's done. Well done. Got back to 3rd place. Successful season, but not necessarily what they want. So France is not going to really have that pressure this match. If they can get him to game 3, perhaps they will. But for now, USA, it's time to step up if you want this.
Honestly, yeah. And I even though that is literally the case that they can lose this game 2 and still be alive, I really doubt France is thinking, oh, we'll be we don't have to worry about game 2, because I mean, they're going to put the pedal to the metal. This rivalry has been heated for years, and
I mean, you remember 2015, right? Like,
yeah,
if you have that mindset, it's like, oh, we don't have to worry about game 2 too much. They lose in the last race, then USA just completely dominates game 3.
Yeah. And these two teams are sneaky. They changed the shape of the score of the match so much. We clearly saw that in game 1. You do not want to lose guard of your goal at all in this semifinals set here, because we got 2 explosive teams here, and we are just around the corner for game 2 to start. Sounds like the room was filling up. Do we know if that is completely full yet?
I wouldn't know yet, but we'll have to see. We're getting a little bit of a sneak peek. Looking pretty close, so we'll be starting any minute now.
Do some counting. 3, 6, 9, 11.
Yeah, we're at 11.
We're probably waiting for Strike, LOL.
I think I see his me, actually.
Oh, yeah, he's in there. We are waiting for an American,
I think it's Isaiah.
I think it might be Cinda.
No, Cinda is the blue me. Absolutely.
Oh. Wasn't he rolling with the USA Sean me, the legend?
No, I think I don't remember what this is. I don't know if it's supposed to be a Wingle. I don't know. He makes Pokemon me's now.
Oh, perfect. Well, that is honestly the most exciting storyline I can think of right now. So Oh, we will just await the final play of the room, and then we're off to game 2.
Yeah, I'm certain that Team France would like to just wrap this one up and go to bed. So maybe that is their motivation after all.
Oh, that's got to be some of it at least.
Yeah. Okay, Isaiah was the missing player and is in the room now. So we're getting started now. USA will be hosting now, so they do have a chance to get a hot start. They're going straight to jungle.
Yeah, and they love themselves some jungle for sure. We've seen that picked several times so far this set.
I mean, it's become like pretty much in every match occurrence at this rate when it comes
Right.
to just the, a lot of the higher level teams, they have a set of like 20 tracks that pretty much is the rotation now, it feels like.
Yeah.
And, a lot of them, you have to be ready for the things that you aren't always expecting every war. Like,
The
what happens?
surprises.
What happens if you just got to play Bowser's Castle one match?
What
It happens
if you
every.
play Trainbow Road after taking a huge lead and two
Dude, there's
quarters
a
of the way
lot
through
of
the match?
there's a lot of people that have been picking Trainbow recently. I'm not sure if I like it, but this
Yeah,
is the reality now, and that's the fun part. Is like you get adapted to all these tracks, but then there's this one group of people that's like, hey, what if this track was meta this week? And then everybody
absolutely.
has to learn it because then you have to like make sure you don't get exposed or something on it.
I mean, yeah,
And
France is definitely convinced at least 800 viewers between ours and France's World Cup stream that track is viable in that context. So
oh, absolutely,
the
I think
propaganda is up through the roof right now. We love it.
some of the USA members, I think, are actually on the same wavelength as them on that. It's just they didn't have the positioning that they wanted for it to happen.
True. That is truly the case. But yeah, we got Twisted Mansion here. This was a France pick, and this is one of their go-tos for sure. They love this for especially to start off matches and if they're in a little bit of a mixed bag.
Yeah,
And we got
getting
Cinda's
that was
perspective
very
now.
nice. I'm kind of surprised that he used the shroom there, but I guess he's wanting to cycle for more opportunities to pressure Dam. We know how Dam started last match.
Ooh,
You don't really want to see that again.
first did not mess up. That was a pretty big spike of lag. Cinda's able to hold some
Demon
France
really
back
fought.
here. Yeah.
Unless he
Oh,
broke it.
Demon.
Yeah, he's not taking cut though.
Oh,
But he was ready.
yeah.
Right.
Looking like United States back here, but I think France is bottom 2.
I want to say they're
There's
2-3-4 too, which is kind of dangerous for NATO. Power does get
right.
hit. Maybe a surprise attack there by Roberto. Power's just desperately trying to get into the knife. It kind of messes up a little bit there. Not going to be able to get the box he wanted. It was Demon there anyway, so it wouldn't have really mattered. But
Pack remains very close. So if there's no shocks in play, this first shortcut is going to be a pretty big game changer. And the last turn, lap 3, Power got taken down.
NATO's gone though, which is kind of important. But I mean, I think Sin is probably using this to catch up. Will it come in here? I don't see it yet. We're gonna have to figure out
4,
if
5,
anybody
6
else.
there for the States. They're in first, though. We see
Roberto is in
Roberto in
first.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's holding on to the top there. Oh,
Oh, I
Cinda
thought he was
can't
gonna get
dodge in the
that.
red. That's tough.
Is
And
it
yeah, the
shock and
pack
play? It'll
up
come
front is
now.
so
So
tight.
Roberto's going to hold on to this first. That's a very promising early sign.
Oh,
He pulls
there's the
shock in
bolt.
10th. I think they're
Nothing.
in a star right now, so he's just going to use the late to pass them. Or maybe
Yeah,
just
nothing to be
Senda.
had there with that shock besides passing Cinda. We'll see how the top of the room unfolds. Yeah, 1, 3, 4. The 7, 10, 11 kind of narrows that win, but that's still a very good start.
Yeah, I mean,
Especially because
nothing
you
really
held on to first.
groundbreaking. Nothing
Yeah,
really
yeah.
groundbreaking, but I mean, certainly welcomed. It's definitely better than the -20 right from the get-go alternative, so we'll just go with that.
Oh my god.
I mean, lose the first game and then just immediately get dismantled in first race. That's kind of you know the vibe of that.
Definitely.
A lot of the 2-0s that we've watched the last few weekends have had that story, and that's usually the sign that like that's kind of the sign where you're just like, all right, maybe this isn't going to be a close one. So, as viewers, we like to see the start happen like this at the very least.
Right. And Water Park, a unique track cut. This is kind of an example of
There's some
Water Park
DCs.
entering the US. There was a DC?
There are two, one on each team.
Oh. Are we still rolling through though?
I think we are. I believe you need 3 total with 1 on each team.
All
So
right. Well, yeah, I was saying Water Park, kind of an example of the USA meta here, kind of adapting for Roberto as a very, very good runner, especially with a bike.
I think
He's
some
going
of
to
the
try to.
players on their team like this track as well. I know Cinda and Zayev have picked it before, so there is that. But yeah, Roberto definitely
Ooh, Power able to
gains a lot
sneak
out of it.
by a little bit. Roberto with the trail. Not sure if that was coordinated or just well placed there from Roberto, but he's able to take out Power and try to hold on to that first. The pack just through these first race and a half has
Yeah.
been very, very close up top.
I mean, you imagine his teammate just tells him, "Yo, power second, trail that."
Yeah,
Boom, it's
Loki.
out.
That is the strat.
It's an underrated thing to call out, actually.
Yeah.
So
And
Roberto's still chugging along in first. So again, kind of a hard like once he gets going, it's hard to get him to roll to a stop. So Power making a attempt, not going to go how he wants. This is really what you're wanting. I think. I think NATO has greens out right now.
ooh, tough for Cinda there. A lot of France up here in the middle. And at least in terms of the numbers game, they have a lap to make something happen, try to turn the tides on the United States. But it seems
Roberto's
like,
out finally, and they have bottom 4
oh,
right now.
the Blues coming out. Yeah.
Question is shock in play
Oh,
because
Blue got
USA
dodged.
would have it. They would have used it already. Is the thing.
Yeah, no, it's not looking like the United States has the shock, and France could be rolling out to a huge race here. Cinda not able to do much in terms of catching up.
If they can at least get
Roberto,
4 through 7,
yeah,
it's
Roberto Strike and
something.
Cinder are 5, 6, 7. But that could. Oh, there goes Isaiah too. Cinda not really having anything to do with this boo. Just gets a red shell.
Oh,
Gonna
they got
fall into
Dam out at
8th
the
or
end.
ninth.
They got
Oh,
Dam
did
out at
he?
the end.
He got Damon. Oh, wow, yeah. That's big,
That's
but
still
bigger
awful,
from
though.
France for sure. Top 2, 4, 5, 6 was that?
Yeah. And that's unfortunately the reality that you're going to run into when you just allow the other team to surround first with
Absolutely.
opposition.
Roberto could only
Because,
hold on there for so long.
yeah, I mean, we knew NATO was mid pack. They were bottom 4. Roberto's first. The Reds are going to come. It's just a matter of when. And again, that's a dangerous game. France is going to have an easy lead after that one with early in the war a chance to go RWS. So
Ooh, yeah, and if they can string together these track picks,
yeah,
they can start growing the lead.
that's where it gets scary, right?
And
These
14 points after 2. Interesting.
Yeah, the early track picks are definitely some of the more scary ones, I would imagine.
Yeah.
They can
I
really
mean,
set the pace.
and it's even scarier when, if you're the United States, your back is against the wall. Like, you can't lose control of the pace of the match,
Yeah.
especially. And
And
Wario Stadium coming out for that deadly France top 2 at least, and
yeah,
following in 4, 5, 6, I think it was, or 5, 6, 7 was it?
as
Something along the lines of that.
yes.
Still, but
As much as a negative as this is, they are going to have a chance with 3-4. We'll just have to see we saw Roberto immediately get into first last event. Can he do it again? But can he actually roll this time? Absolutely
he's
not.
gone. Drafts are going to be big these first couple turns. Doesn't seem like much is going to shake up here. Cinda, Isaiah, and NATO back here in 6, 7, 8.
Those bananas are going
Bananas
to do nothing good for them unless he can get them away at an opportune time.
is a bit of a squeeze here. We can't really, make out a sure makeup in these race rankings right now, but we do
The
know
worry is
France
just
is
if
first at least.
France can land even one hit, it's going to be
Oh, France
devastating
is
for the
top
Americans.
3.
And Demon's
And
got triple greens out in the pack right now, which is
you
going to be incredibly annoying. I think
you do
USA should be
not want to
bagging
see
already.
this if you're the United States. You got Swift, I think that was Starlo, and then Power in third, holding back that top 3.
Yeah. All right, 5-6. NATO does get Demon out. That will provide a little bit of help.
Yeah,
But
NATO and
again,
Senda are going to be the real difference makers, if anything, here, but not seeming to have the items to do it quite yet.
yeah, and what can you reasonably expect of just 2 people? Like, he's got one offensive item. That is triple reds behind him.
Oh,
Good.
that is.
Okay.
Oh, there's a blue coming out as well. That's
I
not
mean,
going to
that
have a
has to be from the
monumental
US.
effect just yet.
And it may have very little effect. If they can get this back on NATO, dude.
Oh,
And I
doesn't quite
thought
get him
that
though.
he had it. Yeah, NATO cannot get hit right here, or else this is going to be a horrible situation. I think he may be gone.
Oh, this could be a top 3 then. It's looking. I mean, it's looking like at least a top 2.
This looks like a top 5, dude. And Cinda doesn't even have a dodge. If they have it, it's going to come out right now. I don't think they do.
The United States is very, very flustered right now. They can't really make anything out of this race, and France is cruising.
Oh, no way. France had it, did they?
They had it, too. Wow.
I don't know if it was, but if they did, that is
top 5.
mean.
Wow. France taking no victims right now. They are just rolling. And that, I know I said this last match, but that cracks it very wide open early. And I mean, just creating that separation at the start, yeah. We were talking about getting a quick dominant start. And I mean, France has liberty to pick whatever running track they want right now.
That shock was so rude also. The fact that France probably just had it the whole time with USA 6 of the bottom 7 spots.
I wasn't even paying attention to the bagging battle if there was one to start with, but yeah, no idea.
They just did not bag very early, I think. And this is a bit of a hole now. And again, we're talking about France going Dolphin Shoals, all switching probably to Rosalita Squirtle. Not even worrying if it's cheese. Yeah, at least for this one race.
Oh, baby. Yeah, they got 2 Waluigi's up there in 2-3, but for the most part, we know where France will be on the mini-map this race.
And the jarring start to this match now is it looks like USA actually kind of intercepted France's stadium pick. I think it was France's stadium pick last time. But this time, nothing. And that could be a big difference early.
Yeah. And I mean, not really any windows here to penetrate this top 3 from France. A red possibly coming his way.
They've got to start finding some shocks. This firepower may be the difference.
Big opportunity here. Check this interaction. Isaiah kind of in the way, pulls through a red, able to take out one France member. A horn taking out a second. Suddenly, the United States has 2-3. Cinda and Isaiah on the front line.
Oh, he missed a shot, but Cinda does go down.
Yeah, Cinda absolutely whiffed that, but
they're going for it now. They have to be. Isaiah does get into first, but this is looking like the water park situation all over again. If he has nothing,
he does not have protection. Power able to bring him a little closer to the pack, and that is huge for France. Isaiah might be a bit overwhelmed by France up here in the top spots.
Well, this is just what happens with frontal presence. If you don't have enough of it, the one guy who does is going to get absolutely bullied. Another red. Again. Is he alive?
Top 3.
He is
France
not.
Is top 3.
Blue's coming
out. They are rolling right now. Cinda's got the blue.
I mean, Cinda's got to get it. They've got to get something on France right now. And if they don't, this is going to be disastrous. Like, oh my gosh, he pulls a bill early.
Anything back here?
So it looks like they're in third now.
Oh, there's Strike, but he's not got anything right there. Well, Starlo in third with triple greens.
We saw what happened to Isaiah. Shock does come in for the U.S. They have one shot to turn this around. Hopefully they have something. Somebody's in a star now. If they can get some dodges, they may have a chance. There goes Demon. NATO's going to steal first here. I think.
NATO on the front line. He's got greens. Oh, he got boomeranged.
Oh, he's gone.
Roberto not quite able to sneak into first. We can't see who got first.
If it was Isaiah, this could be a match again.
Right there.
We didn't see him. It may be Isaiah in first. It's Brandon.
Oh, top 3. That was sneaky. Oh, and NATO still got third?
Yeah.
Oh, my word. That was huge. That shock came right in the clutch for the United States.
Oh, man. I got really worried for a second there because I didn't see Brandon all race. I was thinking it has to be Isaiah if they're going to be up there. Brandon, the man that everybody forgot about, perhaps, or maybe just me. Who knows? Getting on the board of a clutch win right there. Cinda being absolutely selfless. Getting that shock. You know, when Cinda pulled that bill at the last set, you had to be thinking, hey, do you spam it as soon as possible? Because again, at the very least, like, you may not get it. Maybe if you bill up at the bill spot, you can like get 4th or 5th or something. He recognized the objective. Absolutely not. That's not gonna do us anything. The only thing that can is shock. Gets rid of it.
Cinda understood the assignment there completely, and I mean that was huge for the States. And they've
Yeah,
got a top 3 here now. They can possibly work something here on Bone Dry Dunes, run a little bit,
that
but
may have been what saved the entire match.
well, yeah, and
Just
I mean,
straight up.
the deficit wasn't nearly as big in game 1, but the United States kind of found themselves in a similar situation where around the halfway point, they're trying to start climbing back, and this is an opportunity here, and we're talking opportunities because both of these teams can switch things around faster than anything. So when the opportunity is there, you've got to be aggressive. And if they can chain together some good races, we've got a match again. But
Yeah.
France, with the way they've been playing, I think France is just as likely to answer right back here and kind of, kind of shut US down again. But we will see. We've got Power back here. His teammate following right behind him. Not the greatest item combo for him, but it is only lap 1. So they've got time to work something out here. And
I think our
Power kind
score
of
is slightly off also. I think it's a little bit closer than what's pictured at the moment, but I'm not entirely
Oh, I
certain
see.
what it is because of the DCs. Regardless, you're
Nope.
right though. Like the other thing is USA did adapt on Shoals the way that they didn't on RWS. They started bagging way too late. They got just enough opportunities to pull what they needed here.
Yeah.
So again, you have to take that as a massive win and figure out how to keep it going because again, that could have just been it if they didn't pull
Ooh,
that.
Cinda. Oh no, Cinda not getting any double red there. He's gonna go
You're gonna roll
top.
for another though.
Smart to go top path there. First seems to have protection. I didn't quite see what's behind him, and that sneakily could be France coming up in second with a boo
Is there a
there.
ghost?
Yeah,
I
there
don't
was a
actually
ghost.
know. Who is it? It's
Oh,
Demon.
Demon. That's top 3 for France, and yeah,
They're going
I
for it
did.
again in 12th, it looks like. I don't think France have any dodges that we easily see right now.
Oh, the
Okay.
bolt comes out. Whose bolt
NATO
was that?
dodged. I don't know who went to the ghost. I think it was a French player.
Oh, spots are mixing up at the top there. We thought that France top 3 was pretty well sold. We're gonna see
NATO's
what
got to get
intermixes at the
first,
top.
right? NATO has to get this first
I
if they want to
believe he
win this
might,
war.
and Cinda following up in 4th could be a
That
decent
may have
race
been
here.
2-4. I think he got second.
Oh yeah, I think France still got first. Damn,
That's
pulling
better
out
than nothing,
first.
though. Bottom 3
Oh,
for France.
okay. Yeah, bottom 3 always seems to shut me right up because I thought that was still
Yeah,
pretty big from France, but yeah. So that seemed to be a United States coordinated shot kind of at the last second again, yeah?
I think that one of France, I'm not certain. Maybe it was Dam. I think that he got in a ghost at the last possible second. Maybe just superhuman reaction time. Because if Cinda was the second highest spot, like there was 2 dodges, right? And Cinda didn't dodge. That had to have been one of France. I think Scartex was up there already.
Right.
If I'm thinking of this correctly, like I think Dea must have just had superhuman reaction time, got into that store. Maybe just luck of the draw that he knew that a TS was probably coming. He got in there just in time, stopped NATO from winning the race, and man, they are just not wanting. They're just not letting USA creep back into this as much as they possibly could. Because if he doesn't do that, that just may be like a bottom 4 for them, and we could be talking
Oh
about an
gosh,
entirely
yeah.
different match.
Right. And out comes GBA Mario Circuit. And considering the last 2 attempts at getting the shock for the United States kind of ended up occurring late. I mean, we had a last second Dolphin Shoal shock that was a miracle, and a Bone Dry Dunes one that kind of shook it up lap 3. This being a pretty short track, would you rely on the ability to pull a shock here?
I mean, I think you've got to keep it coming, right? Like you're
Yeah.
finally like you've been getting outworked in the front. Let's just call it how it is. Like France has been everywhere up there. You've got to build on what's going well right now, and obviously that can start by simply running better, having more people up there at a time. Easier said than done, of course, but again, I wouldn't abandon just bagging and stuff. And likewise,
That is
France is
fair.
already learning from what went wrong last time. They're not giving them first for free.
I was just thinking on that one. Cinda with a horn in first here, gonna dispense of
He
possibly
didn't.
not
Okay.
quite connecting.
Maybe he
No.
did. I don't know. Blue's coming immediately after, though.
Oh, can he dip out? Does he have time?
His teammate could have a horn of how he's driving right now.
Oh no, he's seeming to want to take that
Yeah.
blue. Interesting. I mean, puts him in. Oh,
Did he get
Brandon.
Dayum? Oh, no way.
He
Brandon
did.
has caught a god in first two now.
Oh,
He's going to try Electro Power
here? Oh,
This-
he connected with that. Oh, no. Did he?
Yeah, he definitely did.
Okay, good. Yeah, there's a lot of lag on that map.
Center
but I
knows
was
better
not
than us
sure.
right now. Oh, what was that bomb down there? Brand's got to hopefully throw some reds if we're looking for a closer match. Oh, what a back on Demon. This is 2 through 5. Starlo is out of first.
Possibly a top 2 here. This is a top
4.
Finish.
This is a top 4 right now.
The
Blue
blue's
is coming
out,
in,
though.
though.
Can Roberto try to tank it? It's going to come
Brandon's
for
going
Brandon.
wide.
Oh, that's going to look...
Oh,
there goes NATO on the line.
Just eviscerated on the line.
Absolute chaos ball at the end there. And the United States able to pull out a top 2, 4, 5.
I keep saying it, Kevin, but they've had amazing looks that France just finds a way to dent every single time. Because
Dude, it's impressive, and it's honestly damage control if I'm feeling it. Like
Brandon and NATO, Brandon with the blue, NATO backed on the line. They got 9th and 11th, and everybody else on the team got top 5.
That's what I noticed.
That could have been a really weird, okay, United States is in the lead again moment where we just did not even think it was possible for the race.
Well, I mean, without those two, I mean, Roberto wasn't quite able to get up in first there because he had triple mushrooms. If he got up there a little earlier, the blue would have locked on him, and honestly, Brandon would be chilling. But I mean, USA has to be thankful that top 2, 4, 5 came out of that. And look what we have here. We've got Trainbow Road on the selection menu again.
Yeah,
France
whatever
is having
works,
deja
right?
vu right now, and they're going to what they know, and that is a good pick. If it gets picked again, we'll see if they can replicate it. But I'm really interested to see how this unfolds. It's a 14-point game.
We were talking about just random tracks in the meta. And I was like, yeah, we may just play Bowser's Castle one war also.
Oh my god, I love June 2014. Oh, we are living the life, and we've got Trainbow Road. Now is the United States clenching right now, realizing what they're playing again. They've got top spots, though. I mean, if they can kind of team draft up at the start there and space themselves correctly, they can kind of create a US wall there. But
I think they're going to need to be more aggressive than last time. We watched Power last time just waltz right into first place without much resistance. That cannot happen again.
Will he get a shroom again? And Starlo.
They have the red.
So
they space. Oh, I don't think that they spaced enough, though. I think that is Starlo up front still.
Oh, yeah, and suddenly the United States is 7, 8, 9, 11. So France, able to sneak up there, and Starlo with first. We can still assume... Oh, no,
and there he is. There he is again.
That's big.
Immediately just finding his way. They're just doing it again right now. It's literally match 1 all over again, and he's got a horn.
Top 3 from France. They are executing this track to perfection right now. A blue won't have an effect. And, I mean, the United States has to be praying for a bolt right here.
That's 4th also. They're literally in 4th, too.
Oh, my word.
This Firefire's not even going to reach. France is doing everything perfectly right now. They've got the bottom 2 set up as well. Or 2 of the bottom 4. They're not going to let them have shock easily.
And going tight,
even if they get it,
fire off. Oh, nice dodge by Demon.
They have to kill Demon here.
Double here.
They have to get him.
Oh, those triple greens are huge from Demon. Cinna's got to watch
Demon's
out.
Being a little aggressive, but still blocks it. This looks to be a top 4 and maybe
France just absolutely owns that track. Changed my mind.
They have the cheat sheet. They have the answers. Bottom 2 gives the US a little bit of a window.
I mean,
wow.
What's a top 4 bottom 2 in terms of numbers?
I'm guessing it's probably about 16 or so. That's that's what I'm thinking. I don't know
France
for certain.
Will take that.
Yeah, it's 16.
That's something that will practically double the lead here, and we're on race 8, and I mean, just like last match, familiar territory. Lots of open windows here, as
proving it's not a fluke. Also, the 64 Rainbow Road pick, and the thing of my nightmares happened there. You're worried about they've got it. They can't let him waltz into first. Starlo immediately in first. They have the red. I don't know what happened. I don't think they spaced well enough.
Yes,
because Roberto went wide.
Yeah, no, I mean, Cinda went wide with a red, and the spacing was messed up, and, I mean, Starlo was not being paid attention to, and he just, dipped quick. And
Yep.
yes, I was noticing about that first set. You get a mushroom there and a draft. Like, you can just sneak past everyone. You are just like sly at that point, and that is what France did really well to establish the front.
Just so under the radar. Damn may have DC'd that race actually, but it just does not really matter.
But yeah, 30 points.
This is a tall ask right now. I know it's only 30-point margins. It's certainly within the realm of possibility, but Mount Wario also.
France dominates a race when you're least expecting them to, and so I would be very nervous if I was the United States right now.
Yeah, I think they're going to want to get shocked right here because they took some trades, and trades are not favoring them right now.
Well, yeah, and the Mount Wario glider is huge for the Bolt, so I mean, if something comes through there, they can possibly make this a little closer.
Oh, they're 3 bottom 4 already. And Roberta's going back, and at the very least, 8-9 belongs to France, but this could be.
But top 3 at least belongs to
France. There's a bomb. As well. There's a bomb in the pack also. If I'm thinking correctly, that probably was and there's Brandon. They have full odds right now.
Is absolutely terrorizing the States right now.
Every window is closed. The only way back into this one. Look at the new Strats Power. We saw you on Twitter, Power, and posting the clips and using it in World Cup. Blue is coming out.
Yeah, but I mean, he's
semblance of hope.
So many teammates backing him, I still think, and no shock seems to be in play. United States probably still back there selling for it because they've gotta.
Cinda in third is honestly a miracle right now. This is what happens when you actually have bad starts. You actually can get back up your coins, but he is surrounded right now.
If the Bolt is in play for the States, I think it comes at this glider. Try to get top 2 off
Cinda's
of it.
calling it, if anything, right? Yeah. Is it in play?
It is! It is in play!
A ball is coming up for Isaiah. That's going to be a free hit, hopefully. He has a red.
Gotta be careful. Up coming up here, too. Oh, the fire! He dodges it niftily! Oh, boy!
The red's coming in for Dam. It's going to be too late.
Hold on. That's still going to be a massive race for France, I think.
What happened to Isaiah? Isaiah got third.
Oh, not quite massive, but still a winning race, I think.
I have some questions, really.
What's up?
I know you ideally want to hold your defense in case of the worst case scenario. Like, what if Dam pulls something? But he had a hit on Swift or Demon, I want to say, right there, that he just opted to not take. I hope it's not something that's regretted, but I certainly understand why he didn't go for it.
Cinda was still in glider. I'm looking back at the match. He kind of past tense of glide. I can't quite remember. Glowed over them, if you will, whatever the word is. He didn't really seem to have a great opportunity to connect with the France top 2, and then Dam coming out of absolute nowhere and stealing first. That was big because he was able to dodge that top 2.
He was ready. I got really scared for a second, but I think Isaiah had a ghost at the very end. So.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, that's why I got third. I thought France got 1-3-4 for a second. You were thinking it was a big race for France also. A little bit mistaken, but good for us because we get to cast something closer. That was looking to be curtains right there, I must say.
Plus 2? Plus what?
It was about even. I think it was +2 for France.
Oh, wow.
But given the alternative, yeah, we're fond of that. If you're
an entire GP to be played, 4 more races. I mean, you got to take something that's gone right this match if you're the United States and play off that because France is just
Dam's gone.
Here.
This may be your opportunity. I don't know what happened to Strike. I think he's still in first. 1, 2, 4.
Demon in third. If they can get the green on the Demon and
salvaged.
Strike too.
Absolutely salvaged. Still top. You almost wonder if it's better. I don't want to say that, right? But they got the one threat out of there. Yeah, that's a winning trade. So they fought. Okay, they have a horn. That's a weird spot. You want to use the coin to speed up, right? But now you're panicking for the ghost. Hopefully somebody else has it for their sake.
You gotta hope that. France is a lot of them are probably back there. If they get a boo, that horn could be gone.
Oh, they're bottom 3, right? NATO just decided to forgo his top spot. He's just we do a little trolling sometimes, but
this is where NATO could be very huge. There comes
Cinda has a horn.
Horn still.
Will he be able to dodge it? Oh, he let Brandon into first. Weirdly. Maybe Brandon has a shroom. Actually, I don't know. Cinda should be able to horn it
no,
regardless.
Cinda's just going to
Oh,
horn
he's got to watch
that.
out. They're top 4 right now. I think Isaiah has a dodge.
They've got to space a little better. They're a little close back there. They seem to be
I
making
expect
this
Cinda
up.
to go wide here, actually. The fact that Power's billing makes me think they don't have it right now. And this could be, like, they're using dodges. This is exactly what United States needs right now. And it's been a script flip because France has been running all over them this match. And they have suddenly have top everything. And if they hold top everything, if there is no shock right now.
Another one. There's another blue.
I think they're going to be able to tank that. If there is no shock right now, this is going to be really close.
Rookie, we might see a little bit of a flip here. The United States needs to hold on to this. They've got to be careful. Cinda pulling into first. There's a big
There's the shock!
It's Cinda! And
Power is coming up. Strike managed to dodge, I think.
They're still up here, though.
Scortax got first. Never mind.
Scortax got first?
France on their way up. Strike, unfortunately, not locking up a top 3 spot. This one.
Oh my god.
Wow.
That is insane. That shock was huge from France. I was getting very worried because the pack was split between top 3 and the rest of the group. And France was just concocting something back there. I knew it. And that came at the perfect time. Cinda barely getting target shocked. And France salvages that one. That's a 2-point difference, it appears. Someone's saying in chat. I think that's +2 for France.
The thing is, like, it's a -2, but it certainly is a gut punch. Because that looked like it had all the makings of a let's get back in here and take control. But or moment, I don't know. I probably just didn't say a sentence. That race had everything they were looking for.
I understand exactly what you're saying. I was ready to kind of explain how that felt like a very deflating moment for the States if that race was a dominant one from France. Because, I mean, they had the top 3 breakaway, and that's the kind of the deal with a distance-based item system is, makes the shock
USA gambled, right? They gambled. Yeah. They had to. Like, it's easy to say, dude, it's easy to say, drop more people back, but when you have a GP left, you need that. You need the big race. It's easy to say, oh, yeah, shock happens, so why did they have top 4? But, like, you don't have a lot of time right now. You got to catch up. And I'm going to be the one to say it. They kind of got a little bit of their own medicine right there because France has had the opportunity to put the dagger in this match, and the shock has prevented it. USA, it was only a matter of time before you got burned by 1-2. Can't worry about that, though. 3 to go. Still very much in this.
Well, and that's just massive. That race, even though it was only +2, was massive for France. Because when you're at the end of a game like this, the longer you can keep a lead as it is, every race the lead doesn't shrink for the United States. Just makes it infinitely harder for them to come back. And it's still very possible with 3 to go. But France is thankful for that lap 3 comeback there, because looking like a 34-point game here. And as far as the pack makeup, who is in the front currently?
That is a great question because I feel like there has to be at least a few Americans up here, but I can't say that for certain. Yeah, that's an interesting development.
Thing to note. Yeah,
goes in. Oh, shot comes out for America, probably.
Very well, why?
Or maybe not. I feel like it has to because of the timing of Strike's Ghost.
I think that was an American shock. Dam probably was able to predict that there.
Well, what else do they have in the tank right now? Is somebody else up there that we don't know about right now that we're forgetting?
Gotta feel like Power. France is in first still. I'm really feeling that.
I'm not entirely certain.
Oh, NATO died. Cinda pulling up through 6th here, and so that's Isaiah, Cinda in 6th.
I think an American or 2 Strike probably got first. That's a top 2, 4. Wow.
Roberto! He was holding up the front there. I didn't even notice. That is massive then for the United States. That's a winning race. And
Roberto was 2nd. Strike obviously dodging the Ghost. That's going to help a decent amount.
Oh, I'm stupid. That's why first was so far gone.
Look, I hate to be a history nut here, but do you all remember when USA was facing the brink of elimination against Germany, down a considerable margin with 3 races left, and had a 1-2-4-6-8 on SNES Rainbow Road? I think the last time that
but I
happened,
agree.
I think the last time that really weird situation happened, and very specific situation happened, was 2 weeks ago. Weird, huh? So we're right back in here, minus 18.
And Rookie, we're in the situation where something's got to give here. We have a team who just builds exponentially off of momentum and who can get those races that set them up for success, which is America. And then we have a team in France who just out of the blue shocks you, pulls an incredible race, absolutely coordinated on all ends, shock, blues, red shells, double reds, all of that. And I mean, you'd kind of equally expect the United States and France to win this race, because I mean, they're in situations here where they got to be clutch, and I am looking forward to these final 2 races of this game.
Oh, absolutely. We know how the history goes. The United States does not go away against France. I don't care what lead you have them. If you think it's not going to be a good one, well, here we are. It's another race 11 that's meaningful. Very storied race number in this rivalry, even. Do the United States have something in them right now, or is France just going to end it as soon as humanly possible? We'll see. Oh, getting a little bit of lag right now.
Getting a little bit of lag at quite the inopportune time. We're going to keep that looked upon. And
was there a DC?
Power disconnect?
That was Cinda's stream stop. Cinda was hosting.
Oh, Cinda broke room.
Cinda was hosting.
Host DC'd. That's very
weird.
Unfortunate. Right when things were getting insane on race 11, it seems that, room is dead. Oh no, Cinda down absolutely bad, and we're going to have to wait for these final 2 races just a little bit longer.
Oh, it's a little bit of a nice break, right? I'm not sure I was ready for these last 2, to be honest. But
I don't even know what to say currently, because I mean,
is Cinda online? That's a big question right now. I don't see him. And you wonder if this is like the nightmare scenario. Just like Cinda can't get back online or something. You know, you would imagine he finds a way right now. Clearly this is probably, I mean, hopefully he got a clip, right? You'd think. I mean, and Cinda DCing is incredibly rare also. Yeah, well, actually you can on Switch. Switch is like the most cracked console.
Yeah,
so
you're actually right.
So it seems to be in the case and be the case in chat, and
he's also recording, I bet. So
you guys can possibly confirm this for me, but France gets 30 seconds to join the room, or they get a 2 through 7 in room. So are they going to get?
Should be 30 seconds.
Yeah, choose 30 seconds, and that should just give them the 2 through 7 automatically.
And that's massive for France.
Yeah, and again, I imagine we're gonna wait and see if Cinda can get back in here, but Royal, I hope you're online right now, because he's in the chat. So there's a time for you to have a 2-race pop off in your lifetime.
You need a host change though. Wasn't Cinda?
Yeah, host? they're gonna need. Yeah, he was host.
Ooh.
It's like you hope that like when you put the person with the best internet as the host, right? It's just very coincidental when it just happens to be them to be the one that disconnects.
Yeah, Cinda hosts very commonly. He's got good internet, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I can't help but think that this had to have been a power out or something like that.
Wii's off?
Yeah, Wii's off.
Wii is off, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully nothing dire has happened to Cinda, because the United States needs him with their backs very well pressed against the wall, but we can only wait to see what unfolds. Looks like MKFR is awaiting the room to open too. Chat is just absolutely popping off with France flags.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to the 500 viewers watching right now, and the plus 500 on the France stream, even though it's like 3 in the morning.
Yeah. They go crazy, dude.
Room is back open, it looks like. Cinda opened it again.
So Cinda will be playing then. Okay.
I doubt he's going to stream, so I think we're just using power from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
I mean, now would be a good time to maybe look at Isaiah's situation again with the YouTube stream. Can maybe figure that out.
So as long as we're not watching strike in his rear view camera, please.
No, never
Yeah.
strike.
All right. Well, we've got an 18-point margin. 2 races to go.
It's doable.
Very doable for the Americans. France really having a grip on both these matches right now. They get game 1 this time. The USA is going to need something pretty big here, but again, it is more than possible. You only really need 2 45-point races to go into overtime, and I don't think that's really the most unreasonable ask. Get 2 45-point races.
Right.
Crazy. If that shock doesn't happen on Cloud Top, the USA may have had a commanding lead right now. But again, you can't. Like, if they did have that commanding lead,
any sort of lead, I guess I don't imagine it would be commanding, but still, I mean, it
would
would
be
have definitely
solid,
switched over the who has the lead. And I mean, if you're the United States and things were looking up for a couple races there closing in, that's just the worst thing that can happen right there, is a disconnect that kind of resets everything, resets room, resets everyone's mindset. People are kind of just sitting and probably all angsty right now because they were waiting for those final 2 races.
The good news is that was very early in the race. It lowers like the suspicion that there would be like an intentional close, and I think that's pretty clearly circumstance. Again, that's why you have the clip rule. You got to prove that it was like genuine or something like that, or at least kind of prove.
Absolutely.
So we'll see how it goes, I guess. Again, if the USA did get away with that cloud top race, I would say that they've been pretty fortunate this war in terms of actually pulling the shocks when they need them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It kind of backfired on them there a little bit. So maybe this is the more justified timeline, if anything.
Absolutely.
So we'll see.
We're assuming that France filled up 2 through 7 in the room, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, it's not 2 through 7 that's needed, just the 30 seconds. Looking at... Actually, I don't know, because I think just about everybody's in right now. I would imagine that was what happened.
the A buttons on all of their controllers are dusted because they spam that so fast.
All right, so send us back live, so we have two POVs.
All right. Well,
what do you think, boys?
2 to go, everybody.
We got a little set of 2 here to play. We got
thank you, Marlon, for the update.
Lead. Yes, thank you, Marlon. 18-point lead here for France, and I mean, track picks are going to change here drastically because we have new spots in the room, and these picks are going to be huge for determining these next 2 races because it's only 2 races.
Starla looking awfully chatty right now in the room, spamming the good nights. I don't know.
They
want to
go
late,
to bed.
So,
if this goes to a game 3, I will feel so bad.
Yep.
For the boys in France, because it is late.
If it makes you feel better, the cloud top shock may be helping them there. This track pick may be helping them there, because we remember what happened last time. This was their big token race, so
I see, yeah.
USA, you got to get up there early, or you better have another answer, I don't know. They were kind of getting streaky after the room close in the first war. And they were kind of streaky before the room close. Hopefully they haven't gone cold or anything in the whipping it up department, but we'll see. France have an awesome looking start, though.
I do see a red.
Actually, no, that's Cinda in first. I forgot. Yeah, Cinda's hosting, so they do have that ability. I was assuming you're watching Power.
Not looking great in the protection. Never mind. He gets the single box banana.
Yeah, but he had to yield for that.
Connects with Swift, though. Roberto might be taking a red. I think he's off. Cinda right behind Scar.
That's a huge draft.
Pull into first. That's a big draft. Able to get the double, too. And I mean, Cinda, and
Scar-Tax with the selfless play.
That was massive.
Top 2 for France early. You love seeing the first-time World Cup players just really sacrificing their entire race.
Sure. There's a boomerang coming out. Cinda's got to be evasive. Quick moves by Cinda. There comes Isaiah.
That was great on both of them to miss everything.
That's a big horn from Isaiah. And he's got a teammate behind him. He's got Strike.
This is 2 through 4.
Stuff with this red.
Yeah, they're getting awfully close to each other right now. If Isaiah has some reds, something could definitely happen here. It looks like all three of them have a red in hand in 2 through 4. It's just a matter of how they're going to choose to do this.
They got to
Cinda's certainly going to be.
Blue's coming out. They don't need a double red.
No.
This could be deadly for France.
Oh, absolutely,
Out comes
it could
the
be.
blue shell. There's
Cinda,
fire
I think,
connecting
goes down,
on
though.
Cinda.
He had a
Oh,
horn.
no, Power had.
They have
huge.
reds, though, don't they? Shock is coming in at a very weird time. Roberto dodged. The red comes in for Power.
Power gets tanked by the red.
What is going on with Power up front right now? Still holding on to first. What is behind him? Because you would imagine Roberto has some items. Demon second.
Double protection. That bomb is huge.
Oh, and Demon may be going wide here.
Yeah,
is
Demon's
this
going
the
very
exclamation
wide.
point right here, tight? We're going to find out. He's going to hold it.
Oh, that's a top 3! France might... Oh, no, that wasn't a top 3, but still a pretty good race for France. That makes it pretty close.
Hold up, chat. Hold up, chat. Hold your GGs. Hold your GGs. That was not as good as we thought. That was pretty. Sure. That was pretty close to even. I think that was a -4. This is a 22-point difference.
I think Skartax got taken out on the line there because he was definitely in third and he finished with 8th. So that's big for the States that they were able to get him out of there. And Hyrule Circuit coming in for Team France, and they are looking to just run this.
Are they really going to go a backing track? Do they have anything else? MKS. Okay.
And
some disagreement. Got the split.
Cover your options. Interesting. Now, France. I put money on France sailing if it's Hyrule because it's a huge running track. The United States is going to have to come up with a pretty elaborate game plan if they want to turn the tides here, especially down 22. You said it was
22.
22 points
to 462.
Separates the U.S. and France. Race 12 of Game 2. France up 1-0. They have a chance to go on a date with Japan in the Grand Finals next weekend. Can they hold on? We will see here.
Can we have a second Neo Bowser City? Can we get one?
Ooh.
We'll see. They're going to need to do one a little better than last time. Brandon up in first already.
Yeah, that was quick by Brandon. If you're France, you are very content with having Power be in the front here. Power, one of the
I thought he got that draft too. He's going to go tight. Oh, this is dangerous for Brandon.
Huge trail. Gets sniped himself, though.
Roberto's fighting for first.
Roberto
he did have defense.
Though. He takes Shroomless. It looks like he is holding on by the tip of his Yoshi bike. And I mean, that is all France behind him. The United States is going to have to come up with a quick answer. They need to whip it up, I think. Oh,
Roberto made some plays, it appears. We've asked Roberto for a lot of miracles in the past. Does he have another one in him? And he is still first. This looks like a bottom 2, though. 3 the bottom 4. How is Roberto doing it right now? Because I think every USA member is not up there.
But is that situation sustainable for the United States? Roberto can only do so much for so long until a possible double red comes out.
The blue's coming in.
The blue, yeah.
So you imagine that was probably Power.
Out.
Do they have a shock, though?
It doesn't look like he's dropping. He gets hit. I think he banana sniped himself before the blue hit.
I think USA has to have a shock. They have to have a shock right now if they're going to win this.
Star for Cinda. There is no shock to be had there. Cinda's not going to dodge.
Yeah,
I think France is absolutely up there.
It is a desperation attempt to pull the shock right now in 12th right now. France appearing every top spot. I don't know if USA has dodges. This is looking like France's war to lose. They just got to hold on right now.
Definitely a France top 3 there at least.
Some damage, but that is not going to matter. Team France is going to the 2021 World Cup Finals, playing against Japan as a top 4. The exclamation point. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have curtains. That was huge from France. And I mean, history has gone back and forth, and France is looking to shift the axis of power. They've got a massive date next weekend. Wow. And I mean, yeah, Hyrule Circuit is the track to do it on. Who got first there? I think it was It was some mix of damn and power. They just trust their run so much, and that is what ended up just dominating the end there.
Yeah, and again, well played to the United States. I think.
Oh, for sure.
I think on both matches, it's not like it was like a blowout score or anything, but I think both matches truly were closer than the score even indicated.
I think both matches had the same score, if I'm not.
I don't think they did, but it was very close.
It was very
and that second
similar.
one definitely coming down to the last race there. First one a little bit more of a pipe dream for him, but regardless, France is going to take it 2-0. Really good matches both times. I think that we were within 20 points late in both of them. I think after both race 10s, it was within
Absolutely.
20. So
no, the final GPs of both of those matches were set up for huge comebacks, and I mean, France was able to hold on both times, and they are headed to the grand finals.
Yeah, and again, in the past, USA's made a lot of crazy comebacks. We saw a lot of them, or we saw some of them taking shape even here right now. Race 9, I think GBA Mario Circuit Match 1, they take a lead that I don't think anybody expected. Late in this one, they have the Cloud Top race set up. They get the win after it. But the difference is France just clutching it out on the last two. And that made a world of difference right there. And as a result, they're going to be rewarded by going to the finals, facing off against Japan. And I think they like their chances this year. We'll see how they do next week. Don't want to rule out Japan by any means, but
and we will be seeing
representing the Western community.
Plenty of scrimmages between these two teams, I think, soon coming up this week. These teams are familiar with each other, and we are in store for a massive grand finals. And I mean, a lot of people on paper expected this one, sent out their predictions. They had Japan, France in the finals, and we are getting what we expected. And there's a reason we expected it, because it's going to be good.
So are you bold enough to think that France is going to win? Take a game?
If I had money on this one, I would not doubt the six-time Mario Kart 8 World Cup champions.
Yeah.
If I'm putting money on it, I'm putting money on it. I got, sorry, not France. I got Japan in 3.
Hey, you're giving them a game. France still looking for their very first
game. I think
they are looking for their first win or game win against Japan still.
In the World Cup. It'd be great
for them, yeah, if they were able to get 2 in the same year, something that hasn't been done in the past. Japan hasn't lost a game since 2017, so it's a big ask, but
and I mean, I think
match, NATO said that he thinks that this is the strongest Team France ever. So
it's funny because I was just about to interrupt you and say that I think Team France has gotten better and better every year, and the jump between the last World Cup and now has been ridiculous. France is an absolute powerhouse, and I know I said, yeah, they can take a game off of Japan, but I think they can win it. I just put my money on Japan,
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to blame you on that, but
I really, unless Japan has just an otherworldly match and France kind of falls short, I think this series goes 3 regardless.
And that is definitely the hope. Well, to wrap things up, MK8D's Team France defying the All USA Japan finals. We got that for Mario Kart Tour. We got that for Mario Kart Wii. USA falling just short in MK8D, but regardless, we'll get a little bit of a mix-up there.
Now we have 3 countries represented in 3 games. Awesome.
Yeah, Japan's sweep is very much a thing that could still happen. You never know.
True.
I think they are definitely not favorited in Mario Kart Wii, but, I think this is their first final. I'm looking forward to see how they fare in that game.
I mean, I think Japan Mario Kart Wii is in an identical situation to France Mario Kart 8 in terms of they're playing a powerhouse of the game, but I think they can pull through. I do think these matches are going to be close, and I think these teams are explosive.
All right. So, unless we have anything else, I think this is all we got for now. Stay tuned to all the news this upcoming week. I think we'll have probably some announcements ahead of the finals. So stay tuned for that. Kevin, you got anything that you need to say?
I do not have anything as of right now. I'm excited for the finals. I'm excited to wrap up this World Cup because we got some good content ahead of us. But for now, GG, and this was very fun.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I think next weekend we'll see. We'll keep update on that. Team Japan, not Team Japan versus Team Japan. I'm so used to them being in the finals. Team Japan, Team France, finals. France takes care of USA 2-0, moves into the lead against USA in their all-time series. Finally 6-5, first time since 2015. Good stuff to them.
Viva la France!
And we'll see you in the future for the finals.
Thank you, guys.